Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
There we are.
Oh, yeah.
All these friendly faces.
Yeah.
Right, Ash?
All right, Scott, are you okay? All right, Mark?
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Got
Ashley from Strike
got your
News.
messages,
Yeah, okay.
Forest Green represent Matt Cooper as new manager. I think Rob, first question.
Yeah, sure.
Straight into Christmas.
First one to you then, Mark. What attracted you to Forest Green?
I think there's not many opportunities you get in football where there's such a straightforward, clear plan of where the club want to go and how they're going to get there. And I think it's a real rarity in football now. There might be clubs that are bigger in stature. There's not really many clubs that are as big, in the way that they act as Forest Green do.
You've obviously got a good affinity from your time as a player here as well. Was that a factor?
Yeah, I think it helps. I think it helps you certainly get a honeymoon period with that. But the biggest thing for me was the plan and the view and how they want to get where they want to get.
How far do you feel you can take this club then?
I don't think it's it's right to put a limit on it and where we can get, but all I know is there's a clear plan, and with everybody's help, there's a real opportunity to get there.
Yeah, you've obviously watched a few games. You were here watching your son earlier in the season, and of course in the playoffs. What have your impressions been of the current side?
I think they've got a real competitive squad together, and you see in the last couple of games they've been galvanised, and they look a real tough opposition at the minute, and I think they've got a real chance.
Yeah, also it's quite a unique situation, isn't it, coming into a team in the playoffs and finishing second in the league. You could say it's sort of hunky-dory, but how can you sort of improve on that, if you like?
I think I'm just, obviously I've come in now and I'm going to try and give Scott all the help I can. He's going to lead the team, and I'm just going to give him all the help I can over this one game to try and make sure that we get in the Football League.
Okay. And what sort of style of football would you like to see your team play?
We want to play good football. If you can play good football when you can, that's a bonus, and we're certainly going to strive to get to playing real good football.
Yeah, and in terms of the players, obviously a lot of players out of contract in the summer. Have you thought about that at all yet?
Yeah, there's been discussions, but I think it's more important that we focus on the issue, which is trying to gain promotion to the Football League. Ash?
Yeah. Mark, are you planning to bring anyone in on your backroom staff at all at the moment?
Not at the moment, no.
Not at the
I think
moment,
there will be some additions, but like I said, the biggest issue, the main issue is this game on Sunday.
Yeah. You've got a great affinity with Forest Green, as was said. You're a captain here. Played under Trevor Horsley as the chairman. You've got Dale Vince now as the chairman. Two different characters really, but both passionate about the football club.
Definitely both very, very passionate about the football club. Trevor got it to a level, and obviously Dale's taken it on to the next level now, and it's a really good football club.
Yeah,
and that's why.
This is a club that's always been massively close to your heart as well, isn't it? So I guess it was a no-brainer, really.
No, that wouldn't have been enough for me. Just because it was close to my heart, it was the plan and where they want to get to and how they want to do it. That was the biggest goal for me.
Yeah, and of course there's a new stadium in the future as well, so that's another. It ticks the box, and also the goal really from the chairman has always been the championship. Do you see that as a possibility?
Why not? With people in the right positions, and there's a lot of good people there, there's a lot of good staff. If we can add to that and get the playing squad right and improve year on year, then why not?
Yeah, great. Dale, what attracted you to Mark?
His track record as a manager, speaks for itself. Talking to him, I like his approach. He's very clear, good communicator. Talk about style of football. His links here at Forest Green is a nice to have. No Scotty, that was another nice to have. His views on bringing players up through the youth system into the first team, again, ticking the right box. So just a combination of things really.
Great. And Mark, what's the plan for the rest of the week leading up to Wembley with Scott?
I've had a couple of conversations with Scott, and you know, I'm not going to come marching through the front door heavy-handed. Scott's got it going really nicely at the minute, so it'd be ridiculous of me to try and interfere. But you know, Scott knows if he wants any advice, then I'll gladly give it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a softly approach, and let the boys and Scott concentrate on Sunday.
Yeah, Scott, it's been a marvellous couple of weeks for you, really sort of turned around the spirit and got the club to Wembley. How do you feel at the moment?
Yeah, I'm incredibly proud and really happy for the whole club. And you know, we keep saying getting there is not enough though. We want to win, so we want to get into League Two. Obviously, you know, everyone knows my role at the club, and that'll have a huge impact on the academy because you know we're ready for that at that level now. We've been ready for a couple of years actually. So bringing Mark in now is fantastic for me because it means that there's another pair of eyes and ears and lots of experience to take on it this week, you know, because it's an important week. You know, the staff we've had here have been fantastic. We've added to that now, which is a real plus.
Yeah. You know Mark well as well, so that again is a plus when you've got someone coming in at this time of the season.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, Dale and I talked sort of 10 days ago 11 days ago when I was asked to do this. We talked about having another pair of hands around, and we just felt that there's no point bringing in someone that we didn't know at that stage to help out because we didn't really have time to get to know anybody, which is why it's really important that we left it as was, you know, and that's worked really well. We've used the experienced players in John and Dave and Darren Carter and Lenny Pidley and people like that. So being able to employ a permanent manager now and the right man, it can only be a positive going into Sunday.
Yeah, and you talk about Sunday, it's Grimsby now, we all know it's Grimsby. Are you happy with it being Grimsby? That's a question for all three of you, really.
Yeah,
Scott?
I am. Yeah, why not? I am, you know.
Yeah, great stuff.
Mark, are you taking training at all then this week, or are you sort of leaving all that up to Scott?
No, I'm just going to be there for Scott if he needs me. I'll be there, and you know, I'll be taking a watching brief. And like I say, Scott's done really well in the last couple of weeks, so it'd be crazy of me to come and interfere with it.
So will you be in the dugout at Wembley or watching from the stands?
Yeah, in the dugout.
I'll be sat with Scott,
yeah.
Okay. Have you met the players this morning?
Not yet, but I think, you know, in football it's a small world, and there's quite a lot of the players that I know. Some have played for me before, and I'm looking forward to meeting them all later.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Mark. We ran a poll on our website asking Forest Green fans who they wanted to be next manager, and you were top. Dale,
that's because I kept voting for myself.
I wasn't even on that poll.
Oh, you were, Scott. Dale, was that? I don't know if you were aware of the poll at all. Did that go into your thinking at all?
No,
because
no, you had no influence on it.
but obviously we know that he is a popular choice with the fans. I think even without the poll, you probably would have been able to gather that. Did that come into your thoughts at all?
Nope. Can't do, can it? But you know, it's not nice to have. It is nice to have, but it can't drive a decision. It can't be a big factor.
I think you're a chairman who goes on a face value when you meet somebody and you get a feel for someone. It's not just a case of it's so and so will go for them because of.
Yeah, I think it was a great opportunity for the club actually. It came at the right time. It's a big step up for us, and everything about it was right. Back of the fans love it as well. Like I say, it's a bonus.
Great. All right. Cheers.
Can I just go back to the question you asked Mark about training this week? You know, I'd be daft not to. You know, we've got all day together today, and we'll plan this week. But if we needed anything over the last sort of 10, 11 days, it's been another pair of hands on the coaching pitch. So it'd be daft of me not to to think I can do it all on my own. You know, we've got by, but we've only had a couple of real proper training sessions because we've played, recovered. You know, and we'll put a plan together for Sunday. Obviously, we'll analyse Grimsby, heavily today and tomorrow. We'll get all our preparation done, and everything that we do now between now and Sunday will involve everybody. The staff, obviously Mark included.
And now the big focus, you get this out of the way, and it is crack on and let's get into the Football League.
Yeah, it has to be.
Exciting.
Scott, have you spoken to the players much about it?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't yet. I think you know, there was the rumour mill at about 5 o'clock on Saturday evening. But to be fair, we've done enough work and they're so focused on the game. It's a little bit of a bitty day today because we've got 1 or 2 in for treatment now and of injured players. The majority of the group will be in at 2 o'clock for a recovery session, and then obviously we've got the game tonight. So throughout the course of the day, we'll all be here, and it'll be quite a nice sort of gentle introduction, really.